Hi, my name is Raquel. Welcome to my podcast. Thank you to all new and returning viewers. And yeah, I'm back in my house today. Kind of having a lazy day, so I'm sitting on my couch today instead of sitting at my dining room table where I usually film. And as you can see, Mr. Rusty is joining me right here. This is his favorite place. He's lying on a blanket that I made, which I can't show you right now, but I'll show you sometime. It kind of needs washing after having been used all winter long. So, okay. You can find any links to my blog, to my Ravelry group, to the show notes in the down bar here on YouTube. So yeah, just click on those and you'll be directed to the places you want to be directed to. So either the blog or the Ravelry group, and also where where you can find me on the internet. Okay, so you might not be able to see, but there's a lot of stuff over here to show. So let's get started. Finished objects. Only have one. Actually, yeah, I have one, which hadn't been planned really. I'd only planned to start this week, but last week after I filmed, it was raining. I got sort of fed up with the sweater I was knitting. I'll show you that one in a minute in the works in progress. I wasn't really liking how it was working out, so I stopped working on it, and I'd forgotten to take my socks with me, the socks I was knitting on, to my parents' place, so I decided to knit the cowl I've designed for Ovelha Negra, for the shop. So yeah, in just one afternoon, it was done. So I'll show you. I haven't blocked it. I've not sewn in any ends because I wanted to get the approval of Joanna first. She approved it yesterday, so I can show you. I will be blocking this as soon as this podcast is over. As soon as I finish filming this, obviously. And then I'll be taking proper photos of it, and I'll show you. Hopefully I'll still have it for show you next week. So yeah, I designed this cowl especially for the Donna Amelia yarn by Ovelha Negra. This is the color that Joanna chose. It's a nice yellow golden color. I used about 1.5 balls of this. Each ball comes in 50 grams, has 80 meters on it, and is considered a bulky yarn, and I believe the label, which let me just get that because it's right here. Okay. It is, here it is. Okay, so it's the Donna Amelia, and it is suitable for, let's see if you can see that there, suitable for 4.5 millimeter to 6 millimeter needles. And it's 100% wool. Okay, go back over there. So yeah, so this is what I designed. Cables, sorry, 2 different cables. It's exactly the same on the other side. I knit this on 7 millimeter needles because my gauge, I have a very I'm a very tight knitter, so I knit this on a looser gauge, and also because I know this yarn is gonna bloom, so it's gonna fill up. You can't really see through it, but it's gonna fill up these holes quite well. And this yarn needs to be washed twice, so you need to soak it, wash it, and then rinse it really well and wash it again, because it still has the like a, I want to say lanolin, but it's like the spinning oil on there, so you need to wash it out. That's why it might feel rough while you're knitting it, but once it's been washed properly, it's super soft, this yarn. And it's not quite a single ply, it looks it, but I think it's a 2-ply, or it might be a single ply. Let's see. It might be a single ply, but it's very nice to work with. Like I said, it feels a bit rough while you're working on it, but once it's been washed properly, it's going to be a super soft. Yeah, it's a super soft yarn. So yeah, so that's the cowl I designed. I'll be writing up the pattern soon, and then I'll be looking for some test knitters to test it out. Obviously, if you don't have access to this yarn, you can knit it in any bulky weight yarn, but it was specifically designed for this yarn, which is the Donna Amelia by Ovelha Negra. So, and like I said, I used about 1.5 balls of this. So yeah, I still need to knit up a little gauge swatch so that I can add that to the pattern, and I'll be using the leftovers for that. And that was in my little bag that I made. Okay, so that's finished objects. That was it for today, for this week. I didn't finish anything else, so we're gonna put that over here. Then on to works in progress. So this is a sweater I was working on last week, and it's grown quite a bit, but it does look different because I ripped out everything I showed last week. Last week I was close to separating for the sleeves, and I've been using all 3 yarns, which are this one. This is All Yarn Adventure Sock, and this is Golden Hour, this is Grandma's Garden, and it's all tangled up, and this is the Sage and Lavender color, which, okay, I'm sitting here on my couch and the lighting is not that great, so I'm sorry for that, but it's like a purple. There you go. It's pretty. And then there's this. So yeah, so I wasn't really liking how the striping was working out, so I ripped it all out. Ripped it all out, and I decided to use just these 2 colors on the yoke of the sweater, and then continue with the body with these 2 colors, seeing as the yellow here, this yellow, comes back in this. Let's see if you can see that. See, there's plenty of yellows going through there, and then this is the lavender comes back in here. There's like quite a lot of purples and that come back in this yarn. That's why I decided to do these 2 for the yoke, and then these 2 for the body, and then I'm going to end, and the sweater is the 5200K by Suvi Simolo. That's the picture, and yeah. So I've decided to this section here of the pattern, I'm going to be doing that only in this color to finish it off. So will be sort of like a gradient. Well, not really, but you know, it'll have only the purple here at the bottom, and I'm about slightly over the halfway mark of the body, so I need to do quite a bit more, and I might not have enough of this to use in the sleeves, but that's okay. I'll just stick these two together. So yeah, this is how far I've gone on there. I'm using 3.5 millimeters. I'm using my iClicks, and this is a US 4. I use these a lot, that's why the numbers have faded slightly on the needles. Sorry. Okay, so that's my first work in progress. Nice little sweater. And I had to adjust the because my gauge wasn't quite what the pattern called for. I had to do some calculations to get to the size I needed to get to, and it's quite, I'd rather make it bigger than make it too small. This way the person who it's for can wear it not just this year but several more years to come. So, and I think it'll fit her just fine. Might be a bit too big on her right now, but it'll fit her. Another modification I made, I was not liking the increases, the way the increases were being done on the sleeve section. So I just did yarn overs every other row to the increases, and another reason for that was because I am alternating yarns every other row. You can see it here. It was, I don't know if you can, maybe you can see it better in the body. It was pulling too tightly, and even though I was making a real effort to not pull too tight on the first stitch, it was just pulling too tight. So there you go. You can see here, this is where I switch the yarn every other row. It's a bit visible here on the body. It's pulling a bit, but it'll loosen up with blocking afterwards. So yeah, other than the not knitting the actual size that I know she can fit into because my gauge was off, I'm knitting a couple of sizes larger to get the correct stitch count, and I did the increases for the sleeves completely different than what the pattern calls for. Oh, and but we'll get to the giveaway section and in a little bit, and the question I asked had several answers, and this was one of the questions that they asked, was for me to show modifications and all that, but I'll get into that more later. So but yeah, that was this one. On to the next one, because I have quite a bit to show today, so I don't want to blather on too long. Okay, so this might be slightly longer podcast today than usual. I also have no videos to insert today, so you have Rusty over here, Dakota's at my feet, no kittens yet. Mama Cat's still feeding them. We haven't gotten them on solid foods just yet, so I can't bring home the little black kitten yet. So anyway, side point. Next, show notes ready. Works in progress. Next work in progress, my pair of socks that last week I mentioned I had just cast on, and then during lunch, during the rest of the week, I knit the cuff and I knit this first triangle. This is for the Grocery Girls knit along, the Happy Feet knit along, which runs from, start on May 1st and runs to June 14th, I believe. I'm not quite sure. But it's the idea was to knit a pair of socks with a new to you technique. So I've knit plenty of toe up socks, plenty of cuff down socks, but I've never knit, and they've just all been straightforward with the heel flaps or the fish lips kiss heel or just the heels. I've knit lace socks, I've knit cabled socks, but I've never knit a sock like this, which is basically a modular knit sock. This is the Broken Jack pattern by General Hog Buffer, and this was a pattern designed specifically for biscuit yarns, and at the time it was free, so I managed to download it. I believe now it's a paid pattern, but I'm not sure. I got it for free at the time, and it's been a pattern that I've been meaning to knit for quite some time, but never got around to it, and now finally I decided to start knitting it. So I'm knitting this with two different yarns. First one, what I'm using for the cuff, the heel, and also for the toe is tiger yarn in this fuchsia color. Blowing that some, it's a bit brighter than on screen. And then the stripe yarn that you can see here is the RGO design line by RGO Knitorama in the jazz colorway, and I believe this one is the flamenco sketches color. Now I've knit a pair of socks out of this yarn before. So cute in there. And I have them here to show. This is a pair of yarn socks I knit last year, and I've still not woven in the ends because, yeah, they fit me, but I'm not sure if I was going to keep them myself or if I was going to gift them. So this is what, if you just knit them straight, this is what happens to striping, and this is what happens when you knit them modular, like I'm knitting here. So basically here you're just knitting triangles in the round, and then yeah, you get this effect. So let's see here. See, completely different than this striping, but I totally love it. I think it's going to be a really fun pair of socks. This is the front, this is the back. The pattern has you do a short row heel. So I just put in the fish lips kiss heel because I know that one off by heart and it's just easy to put in. And I'm just going to do, and it has you carry on with this with the triangles on the foot as well, but I'm just going to knit it plain, just striped. So I picked this up yesterday and I'd just done one triangle during lunchtime this week, so I did the rest. I did the, so that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did 7 triangles yesterday evening, the heel, and I just started. I have about 4 rows of the foot in here. So like I said, this is just a small project that I'm working on in between working on the sweater over there, because the sweater has a deadline. And but yeah, I'm almost done with the body, and it's a pretty straight, it's just knitting. I'm not doing any waist increases or decreases. I don't think that's necessary for the person I'm knitting this for. And but yesterday I was kind of tired of constantly be switching yarns and knitting pretty long rows. I believe there's about 250 stitches on there, one row, one round. So I decided to pick this up, did this. So yeah, it's gonna be put to the side for now. I can't remember too much about these socks, but I'll put that in the show notes. I do remember that this was the OMG heel, the first time I tried the OMG heel, so it's probably just the sock pattern that came with it as well. I quite like this heel, it actually fits quite well. Just haven't gone around to knitting this heel again. So yeah, totally different effects with the same yarn. So on to, I think that was it for the, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to drink some water because I've got a really dry throat. I don't usually do that, but okay. Rusty's just popped his head up. See what's going on. So, giveaway. I mentioned last week that I'm hosting a giveaway, and I have the yarn here, which was kindly donated by Joanna from Ovelha Negra, and you're gonna get these 3 balls, right, of yarn. Just showed last week, and I have a special post on my blog that I dedicated just to these to the giveaway. There's been quite a number of people already gone onto Ravelry, onto the group, and answered the question I put there, which was sorry, what is it that you would like to see more of on this podcast? And a lot of people said that they would like me to discuss how I choose my patterns, how I choose my yarns, how I select color, how I, if I modify patterns, how do I modify them? What else was there? Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of answers already, and I want to answer them today. I have been reading every single entry. I've not been responding to them because I want it to be a chat-free thread, so that it's easier for me at the end of next week to choose a winner, which I'll be using random.org to determine the winner. You have 1 more week. It runs until 21st of May. I'll only be closing the thread on the 22nd of May, which is next week Sunday, before I start recording this podcast, so I can tell you who the winner is at the time. So if you get in there on the morning of the 22nd, I'll still count your entry. I'm not going to be too strict about that. So yeah. Okay, what's next? Talking about yarns. One of the other questions, or one of the other suggestions, was for me to show the other things that I do. I don't only knit, I do crochet sometimes, and I recently started spinning. So that's what I'm going to show next, because as it happens, I ordered some fiber that came in some time ago. Actually arrived about 2 weeks ago, but I didn't want to take it to my parents' place because I already have so much stuff to take with me, so didn't want to be dragging everything with me, so I'll show you today. First thing I'm going to show you is the first yarn I spun. Now, a lot of you have seen this already in person. This has not been washed. I still have to wash it because I spun this in the winter and it was just too humid to wash, and it would have spent days and days drying. Now that the weather is better, it's warming up finally, although this week has been raining the whole week, I can finally wash it and have it and dry it, and then I need to find a project for it, obviously. So I'm quite pleased with it. I mean, there's some thick and thin areas here and some spun and overspun areas. I need to work on the plying. I think the plying I need to improve on. The spinning, the yarn itself is not too bad. So yeah, I got this out of 200 grams of fiber. And this was dyed by Donna Maria, and one of them was, I believe both of them were 100% extra fine merino, except one of them didn't come with a label. I bought my spinning wheel from Rosario, who's Donna Maria, and she offered me a braid of fiber to spin. So that was the rainbow color, and then the other one that I got from her for my birthday last year was the other one that I matched this up with, which is like the more, it was just a braid of pink in various different shades of pink. So yeah, it's my first hand spun. And then I'll show you all the fiber I have here to spin up. First I'll show you the one I bought like some time ago, and then the more recent one that came in 2 weeks ago. So let's start with this one. These, and sorry for the crinkling, I'm not going to take these out because I don't want them to get messed up. These are rolags spun by Donna Maria, carded by Donna Maria and hand painted, and this is merino and silk. And maybe I'll take out one just to show you. It's like a gradient from blue to green. There you go. Starts blue and works its way to light green. So I'm gonna have quite a lot of fun spinning these up, and it's like really nice and soft. So yeah, I don't know when I'll be spinning these, but I will be spinning these sometime this year. And maybe for the fleece, if that's being held again this year, which I'm pretty sure it's every year. So yeah. So yeah, that was the Donna Maria. It's merino and silk blend. And then I ordered this, which had been in her shop for quite some time, and I'd been wanting it, and then finally I just decided to buy it. And this is 100% merino, so it's the same as this yarn but different colors, and I really like the colors. It's like got a lot of white in it, which I like, and then it's got like these blues, these pinks, and it's like purple over here. So this should make for some very interesting yarn. And because she's like a really sweet person, so I bought the rolags and I bought this one, and then she sent me little extras. Not just one, not just two, but no. Send me these 3 to try out. And I'm pretty sure this again is 100% merino. So what I'm going to do is this one I'm going to spin up and join to what I still have left over of one of these, and then I'm going to spin these 2 on separate bobbins and join them, apply them together, and see what I get from here. So I have quite a bit of fiber stash now to spin up, and hopefully now in the summer I can start doing that more at my parents' place. I can be outside spinning instead of knitting, or we'll see. Definitely going to be spinning more. Then Hilltop Cloud had a sale going on some beginning of the year, and I bought some English sheep fiber off there. So this is, because you know, I mean, sure, I've spun with merino now, and I'll be trying the merino and silk, but I wanted to try some other breeds of sheep as well. And I have some fleece that I need to card from local sheep, Portuguese sheep, but I need to card that still first. So because it's all basically ready to spin, it's a lot easier. So this is black Welsh mountain sheep, and it's like a nice dark brown, and this is like 100 grams of it, so we'll see how much I get out of this. But this is like a really very sheepy. It has a very sheepy smell. Dakota loves sticking her nose in here. And it's quite soft actually, so we'll see how this spins up. Then next we have this, which is Masham, and this looks a lot more, it's again super soft, and it looks like it's slightly longer fibers than the Welsh Mountain. And this is all natural sheep. I bought all the natural colors. I didn't buy any dyed, because Hilltop Cloud does have dyed, hand dyed as well. But here's the little label for Hilltop Cloud. But I wanted to try the natural colors, the sheep. That way I can, if I wanted to, I could over dye them myself, or apply it with some other one. And then I have two white braids, and they look pretty much the same, but they are different breeds. So this one here is a Jacob, white Jacob. Now they had the black Jacob as well, which if I like spinning this one up, I might get my hands on some of that. And there's not all the dark fibers, like there's like all this black stuff in there from the other ones. So it's just the white one. It's the white Jacob, and then I have the white, this is Cheviot. It's just white. I mean, these two white ones, the idea was to maybe dye them up myself. Or just apply it with one of the other ones I got. And then they sent me a sample which has stellina in it, which should be quite fun. And here you go. There you go. They're always interested in the fiber. So yeah, I'll be showing some more spinning in the future. Not right now because I have some other projects to finish, but once that's done, I can start spinning. And I have tried spinning with a drop spindle, and I didn't like it. It just wasn't for me. So I'm really happy I got the wheel, because I do like spinning on the wheel. And the first couple of tries didn't work out too much. Did not work out at all actually. And I kind of stopped, gave up for a while, and then Craftsy had a sale going on, and I decided to. I didn't know that they had spinning classes as well, so until a friend of mine mentioned that they had spinning classes, so I bought a couple of spinning classes and I watched them, and I put what I learned into practice, and that's how I got my first handspin. So yeah, but recently I bought some more handspun, this time dyed, and the reason was because I had bought this yarn last year, and this is Berry Color Yarnings. Okay, so this one is 100% superwash merino in the firm twist, and it's called Hollow Eve, and I just could not resist these colors. And it came with this one, which is sweet potato, and this is 25 nylon, 75 merino superwash, supposedly to make socks, but I can't get myself to make socks out of this. But because this is 100 grams and this is only 50 grams, I was like, well, what can I do with it? I mean, I wanted to make something like a shawl, or I was thinking a sockhead hat, but I'd have too much left over, so no. So I'm thinking a shawl. I still decided on, might have to design one myself if I can't find a suitable one. But like I said, 50 grams of this was, I didn't think it was enough. So, Gradient's Yarns, and I have her card here somewhere. Here we go. Gradient's Yarns on Etsy. I'll link to all of this in the show notes. Was having a sale, and I saw this one there, which is 100% superwash BFL. And I was like, okay, oh, this is 100 grams, 400 meters, that should go perfectly with this. This way I have 200 grams, that's enough for a shawl, and I have an extra 50 grams if necessary. And actually, these two colors, completely different dyers, pretty similar. And yes, I know this is BFL and this is a sock, 25/75 sock, but that's okay. I don't mind mixing my yarns. So, this is going to be a shawl. I just don't know which one yet, but it's definitely going to be a shawl. And this one is, like I said, 100% superwash BFL, and it's called Pumpkin Punch. And it came with this cute little, where is it? There. Cute little turtle. It's not quite a stitch marker, but I'm going to turn it into either a progress keep or a stitch marker. So, yeah. Because I saw this yarn on sale, I had to, buying just the skein, this one, the shipping wasn't going to be, didn't compensate to buy just this for the shipping, in terms of shipping. So I went to check out what else she had on sale, and she had fiber on sale, and these are braids that will never be in her shop again, because these are 200 gram braids, and this is 100% Falkland Corriedale. Like I said, 200 grams, and this is colorway Monster. And you might see a recurring theme here of blues and greens, which are my favorite colors. That's not to say I don't like the pinks and the yellows and the oranges and the purples, but blues and greens definitely my favorite colors. So yeah, I got this one, and I got this one, which is Witch's Brew, and this again is the 200 grams of 100% Falkland Corriedale, and it feels kind of rough compared to the other fibers from the Hilltop Cloud. I think this should be quite nice to spin up. It's more sticky, should be quite interesting, and that was another reason, because I want to try different cheap breeds. And then I got this one. So not my colors, but I got this because there's a little girl there's a preteen I know that loves yellow, and I'm gonna spin most of this up and then knit it into something for her birthday, and the rest I'm gonna give to her to spin, because she's now spinning with a drop spindle. So I think this should be interesting for her to also spin up. So yeah, that's what I got. And then Samantha, who is the owner or the person behind Gradients Yarns, was really sweet and added these little candles in the package. And it says here that whatever color the candle is, that's the color flame you have. So this should be quite fun on a birthday cake. So yeah, that's what I have for, I suppose you could call it stash enhancement. I mean, it's not yarn, but it's fiber and it's going in my stash. And I am planning on spinning all this up as soon as possible, or maybe not all of it, but some of it. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Oh no, I have one other little thing to show you. Sorry, I'm just putting everything away again. And that's, I make stitch markers, and I've gifted some already to some people, and I've sold some and whatever. And I recently got some in little things in the post to make some more stitch markers. So I'll be having stitch markers and I might add some stitch markers to whoever wins the yarn. I've just not gone around to, I mean, I only received these this week, so yeah, there's gonna be some fun stitch markers coming soon. I like these cute little fruit ones. Like I said, I sell them, but I don't have a shop or anything. I just, when I make them, I put them up on the blog, I put them on Facebook, and I say that they're available, and just contact me and let me know, and I'll send them to you if you want them. I usually bring them to the knit nights I go to at Ravelry and the monthly get-togethers at for the local knit group. So yeah, if you're interested in stitch markers, just let me know. Also the bags, I make my own project bags, and if you're interested, if you like them, if you're interested in them, just let me know. I have pictures of all the fabric on my Flickr account, which is also linked in the down bar. So go on there, check them out, and if you see something you like, just send me a message either via Facebook or on Ravelry, say which one you're interested in, and if I still have it available, then sure, I can make you a bag, not a problem. And yeah, I think that's it for today. I have some housework to be done. I want to get some more knitting done on the sweater I'm making, on the socks. These two little dogs will most likely want to be going outside again soon. Although I took them outside for quite a long walk before filming, so that's why they're all quiet, and Rusty's lying here beside me. This is his favorite spot. If he's not on my lap, this is where he's at, curled up on the blanket. Right, Rusty? Yeah, that's his favorite spot. We'll see what happens when there's a little kitten in the mix. Oh, Charlie got castrated this week, and he's doing fine. He's not any different. He's just fine. He's just as friendly as ever. He does need to get used to the dogs, but we're starting to let the dogs go out in the kitchen garden again. That way he'll be used to seeing them, and there's glass between them, so there's no problem in them. He can hiss at them and whatever, and Joe can like be totally intense looking at him. There's not an issue there. He just needs to get used to seeing them every day and knowing that they're not there to harm him, like he was maybe used to. The mama cat and her 2 kittens are also doing okay. We're trying to see if the kittens are at an age where they can start eating on their own, so solid foods, so that we can remove them, because one of the little kittens is already starting to hiss at us, and we don't want that. We don't want her to be feral. We want her to be a house cat, so used to the dogs, used to human touch, definitely not hissing at people. Mama cat is going to be difficult because she is the daughter of a feral cat already. She tolerates our presence because we give her food, but we cannot get close to her, to touch her, to pet her. Maybe in time, but for now our major problem will be to, if the kittens are indeed feeding on their own already, will be to remove the kittens from her and then catch her so we can have her sterilized, because we don't want any more kittens showing up, and it's just safer all around for her as well. That way the tomcats that are wandering around the property won't come in to fight with her like they have done. We've had to really lock her in at night now because the tomcats come in to her enclosure where we're keeping her and her kittens, and she's actually moved the kittens out of the safe place we made for her, and put them in a bucket somewhere behind, like she's hidden herself and the kittens out of view because of these tomcats coming in. They also end up eating her food, which, you know, we put the food out for her, not for the tomcats. So yeah, at night my mom puts the food there, makes sure that she's in there with the kittens, and then closes the door so she can't get out, and then in the morning she opens them up. She opens up the door and lets her out, and then she goes and checks on the kittens to see if they're okay. And they're quite big now. The first time I saw them, they were like fit just in the palm of my hand. Now they're probably like the size of my hand already. I'm not there this weekend, so I can't see how big they've grown. You saw the little clip I got last week. Hopefully, I plan on going sometime next week. Maybe if my mom says that they're feeding, I'll go during the week, and I'll see if I can't get some photos up at the time of how big they are. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to bring home the kitten and have him or her. I believe it's the one I'm going to keep. I believe it's a cat. It's a him. I believe he's a little tomcat, which is fine by me. And it's a little black kitten, and I always said that I wanted a black kitten. Charlie's still a work in progress. We'll have to wait and see how he goes along. But I definitely want the black kitten, and Dakota adores cats and kittens, and we go out for walks, and There's one cat that usually follows us. He won't let us get close to him, but he does like following us, which makes it hard to walk the dogs. But that's okay. Maybe if she has a little kitten of her own at home, she won't be too interested in the cats out on the street. I don't know how Rusty's going to react, because we've had a little kitten in that we rescued before, and Rusty wasn't too keen on him. Joe and Dakota could not leave him alone. They were mothering him the whole time. Zada just fled, disappeared, did not want anything to do with the kitten. And Rusty was very wary of him, so was like, got close to sniff him, and then was like, what is this, and what is it doing in the house? And so yeah, we'll see how he reacts to the little black kitten in the house. I think he'll be fine. I don't think there's going to be a problem. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. I don't know if I'm going to be here or at my parents' place. But yeah, I'll be here next week, where I'll announce the winner of the giveaway, who might be getting some stitch markers along with yarn. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye!